Bit of a cold morning this morning, but off for another run, building the legs up. Looks like a dry day, so I'm not putting the hood on today, so it should be good. After breaking the ice yesterday, the legs are feeling really good actually. It really feels like I want to go this morning. It's good, so I might do a bit of a longer one today. But it's nice and dry, sky's blue, and birds are singing. Off we go. I've got a good pair of compression trousers on today. Helps keep all the legs together. It does help actually, and extremely warm. They're lovely, and I've got my winter boots on, so we're all winter togged up, and it's feeling good. Just been playing cat and mouse with a bloody bus. He's going to get me angry in a minute. He keeps overtaking just as he gets to the bus stop. It's bloody ridiculous. All he's got to do is sit behind me for 2 minutes. One of the things I have noticed driving during the week and in the mornings is the amount of learner drivers being taught to drive by companies, and it always surprises me that the instructors don't inform them that you're not supposed to squeeze by a bike, you're supposed to overtake it. Twice this morning so far I've had a squeeze by, both learner drivers in cars being taught to drive by companies, and quite frankly it's amazing. They're supposed to be the people that are the experts for teaching people to drive. I was looking through YouTube last night and quite amazed at the amount of hits the videos get and the comments. Yeah, really, really good. So I'd like to thank everybody that's had the willpower to watch them. Thanks very much. It's been, some of the comments are very good actually. Yeah, great. Some of them, one or two are up at the 30,000. Couple of videos I go out with another Velo friend of mine, Kevin, has now hit over 8,000 hits. That's brilliant. Some of the trike ones are in the thousands as well. So well pleased. Yeah, thank you very much and Happy New Year to everyone that's been watching the videos. Please keep asking the questions. I'm lonely. Now the legs have warmed up, I'm getting a bit of speed up, really good. Still a good temperature as well. This is one of my favourite stretches of road to stretch the legs on. You can get up quite a good speed on this road. It's slightly downhill, which helps. It's a bit bright today. The sun's come out. I shouldn't moan. Love the sun. Sun worshipper. Wee stop. Jesus, I'm bursting. Nice fast road this one. It's going towards Heathrow. The muscle memory is kicking back in now. Woo. Yeah, the muscle memory's kicking back in now. It's I'm finding the sweet spots in the gears where the muscles like to be. So it's slowly coming back. A bit achy though, I must admit. I have to say, most of the bus drivers are pretty good. You only get the odd one idiot, but you get that in life, don't you? There's always an idiot somewhere. This one's pretty good though, gives me lots of room. He's passed me a couple of times. Courteous. This is an interesting site. This is just in Hayes. This used to be the old Fairey factory many years ago. They used to make the Fairey aircrafts and the Fairey Rotodyne, which I believe there's still one flying in America. I think they made about 5. But they were so noisy, that's why they didn't take on. They were the first vertical lift sort of plane come helicopter. Quite an amazing thing. I saw it take off on its first launch from here. Brilliant. Must have been about 5, I think. Taking a little detour. I was going through Hayes and I thought, I'm feeling good, so I'll stick another 5 mile on, I think. There's a couple of routes I can take to extend it while still going home. It's a nice day, so shame to waste it if I'm feeling good. I like going down here, but the lock on the Velo is not quite enough to get me around the corners, so I have to stop and reverse. But that was my fault because I got the camera in my hand. Just over there, the factory with the chimneys, that was Nestle. But they've been in Hayes since the war, and a few years ago they cut and run, but my God, was it a bad company to work for. In my 20s, I was really excited to get a job there, and I was employed as a near-tech roaster and roasting coffee beans for the Nestle coffee, and did some training, good training course, got quite excited, and then out on the shop floor, then started to realise what a crap job it was. The wages were appalling. There were 12-hour shifts, 3 shifts a day. That included a night shift. You didn't know whether you were coming or going. For a young guy, it was bloody useless. And at that time, they didn't even pay you holiday money. They'd got a deal with holiday stamps, and you bought stamps, or they bought stamps with this company, and obviously invested it and got their money back, and that's how they paid their holidays. So they were too tight even to pay holiday money, really. And what an amazing company to work for. When you realise they bought nothing from this country, even the pens and the paper clips and everything they used was imported from Sweden. They bought nothing from this country, and I just wondered how much tax they paid to this company as well before they buggered off back to Sweden. It's a massive company, and yeah, that was a bad piece of employment in my lifetime. But I only stuck it for about, I think, 6 months, and I just couldn't handle it anymore. Being young, you know, mates going out on the town and whatever, and I was going to work at 6 o'clock in the morning or coming home at 12 o'clock at night, and no, it weren't on. Bad time, bad company really. Yeah, it doesn't matter where you put this to try and get around the corner, it just won't make it. It doesn't really matter. Mind you, the trike only just makes it itself, so I mean, that's what I mean, like, the lock's just not enough. It doesn't matter though. Takes about, doing it one-handed, so it takes a bit more time to do it than normal. I can usually do it in one bite. Grand Union Canal down there. That was just over the other side of the canal. There was a Polish encampment at one time. The Polish immigrants were living under there. Must be about a dozen of them under there. Modern Britain, you know. Yeah, the council got a bit embarrassed. It got in the newspapers that there was people living underneath the flyover, so they put that barrier up there to stop people sleeping under there. Did the trick. But they do sleep this side actually as well. Still, you still find people in sleeping bags under there. But this is the Grand Union Canal. That way goes to the Thames, and that way goes up north, up to Birmingham. And there's a T-junction just up there by that bridge, and that one goes off towards Regent's Park out that way. I believe it goes up to the Lee. Yeah, it does, goes up to the Lee. Which again goes out to the Thames, I think. But if you go straight up, don't take the T-junction at this bridge, then it goes up to Brentford locks, and there's the Thames there, it goes out on the Thames. It's a nice river in the summer. Well, river, it's a canal. A lot of history. Right.
Hello.
A couple of walkers, get a lot of walkers down this way. Yeah, I often come down here as a cut through. It's more scenic than taking the road the other side. Yeah, just over the other side there is the, I think they fix canal boats to service them and whatever. There's not many of them left now doing that. There was one up on the turnpike there. It goes up to Paddington. A couple of miles down there, the other side of Southall, there used to be one, a stop off, but it's been gentrified now. It's a place to park the canal boats, and I don't think you're allowed to live there, but there's a club and a pub there. But there used to be petrol pumps and everything there for them, and water station and stuff like that, sewerage station, but that all closed down. I haven't seen so many barges there this time. That's good. I don't think I'd like to live in a houseboat, really. I used to have a friend in Tring that had a mud barge, and I used to stay with him on his barge sometimes. And during the winter, God, it gets cold. It was a metal hull, not a wooden hull. It was a metal bottom and a wooden top. Really long and deep, and yeah, no, it was the condensation. Unless you had the heat on all the time, the condensation was terrible. But lovely in the summer though. Listen to the ducks and laying out on the top, sunbathing. It was nice. one of these sunk a few years ago, that one of those white ones, just where that first one is. It we came by one day and it was sitting at the bottom of the canal. Alright, so we're going to join the main road again now and cycle into Southall. You have to have your wits about you going through here. Yeah, say no more. Bit of history, this is Southall. The old Southall studios used to be just to the left of me, behind there, famous old studios, and also a cinema. I don't know if you can see it just coming up there, an old cinema. Hasn't been used in cinema for many years, but it was the first cinema to have sound outside London. There it is there, just up there. Yeah, amazing. Used to be about 4 cinemas in Southall at one time. They all closed down. The best one is up the end here. It was done up like a Chinese pagoda. Excellent building. I believe it's been turned back into a cinema. It has its moments. It's turned into a shopping precinct. It was a cinema, then a shopping precinct, and a cinema, and it was turned back into a shopping precinct. I believe it's now a cinema again. So yeah, odd. But at least it's still there. Lots of traffic jams about today. Seems to be lots of roadworks. Yeah, it's funny. There's one of these shops here they raided where they were selling illegal visas and student passes and things like that. It was quite amazing. They've been doing it for years, making a fortune, till they finally raided them. There's my favourite cinema on the top there. It's got dragons and dragons' tails. Amazing. It used to be an amazing looking place. Look at that, fantastic. I think it's still a cinema. Oh no, it's been turned back into shops again. It's gone back to shop. Oh dear, never mind. Give it a couple of years and it might be a cinema again. Who knows? And then back into the main Southall. That's a wanker. Oh dear. Seems I have a puncher. Never mind. Quick job. Yeah, got this down to a fine art now. Lucky enough, touch wood, I shouldn't say this really, but it's tempting fate, but I've never had a rear puncher on this yet. Maybe it's because I've got a marathon on the back, but and it's always inside. that gets a puncture. That's where you pick up all the crap in it on the inside of the road. But yeah, it's always been the inside. Never mind, let's get this back on. There's a new tube in there anyway. There we go, all done. I use those air capsules now as well. It's quicker than pumping them up. Yes. Yeah, that was a good ride. Enjoyed that. Excellent. Yeah, the legs are feeling really good. I'm really surprised actually. Pleasantly surprised, I might add. Yeah, so end of another ride. Fantastic. And if it's nice tomorrow, I'll do the same thing tomorrow. And the day after. Oh, deep joy. What is it with seagulls, with velomobiles? Whenever I fly under a flock of seagulls, they get excited. Now I'm wondering whether they think it's a whale out at sea, because whales denote fish. So that's my theory anyway. But they all seem to sort of get really sort of vocal and start to come down low to have a look, and strange. Whether it's just curiosity or whether they do think it's some sort of marine animal, I don't know. Such is life. Another one of those don't know. So well, that was eventful. A puncher, and I must be getting very good at fixing punches, because that's two now that I've used. I noticed that tube I took out had one of my repairs on it. It wasn't that it was leaking, I'd like to say. And I just put another repaired tube in. And yeah, I must be getting good at it now, after all these years. It was never one of my skills, repairing punches, but it seems I've got the knack now. So I'll have to go back and repair this one now. Okay, I'll say goodbye for this ride. It always makes me laugh. I just pulled into the driveway, and a little guy that's just coming out the flats over the other side has rushed over and wants to take a selfie with me. Take a photograph. It always makes me laugh. Why they want to take a selfie with me, I had no idea. Take a photograph of the vehicle, yeah, but me, you know, a photograph of me and them together. The question mark there. Anyway, I'm going to go and have a bath now, and I can't say I'm going to have something to eat because I'm still on a diet, so I might have some fruit actually. And then snuggle down and listen to one of my audiobooks. I think that's what I'm in the mood for now. Anyway, good ride. Yeah, see you on.